Hi everyone, so let's start solving the problems of this assignment. So this is our assignment 3, which is based on EM waves. So we are going to see the questions of EM wave. Now if you want to solve it on your own, then it's up to you, you can solve it on your own. But from my side, I would say you do not need to solve on your own. If you have already studied this subject, then you can solve it. Otherwise you can solve along with me. I will solve the problem, you see the solution, then try the next one. In that manner you can proceed. Otherwise you can solve it on your own if you have the confidence. So let's start now. So this is the first question. This is the electric field expression is given of a EM wave. So you can see EM wave is traveling in positive z direction. Directly from here we can see it is traveling in positive z direction because e to the power minus j beta z. So this is the phasor form that has been written. So in the examination they will not say that sir this is a phasor form or this is a time harmonic vector field. They will just mention the field expression. So this is actually a phasor form, phasor representation. So ES I can write down, but in the examination they might not write it down as ES, they can write it down as E only. Now what is a general way? General way we study in this manner, E naught e to the power minus j beta z, Ax cap. But here there are two components, in x direction as well, in y direction as well. When we were deriving the expression, what did I tell you? That certainly if your wave is traveling in z direction, then electric field will be in x direction as well, in y direction as well. But for studying it, we only take x direction. But certainly there is an electric field in y direction. So in this question, what they have done, they have written both of the components, x direction component as well, y direction component as well. Do you remember in the derivation we took EYS equals to 0, that we are not considering EYS, we only considered EXS, right? If you remember it. And EZS will certainly be equals to 0. This was our assumption, this was something we were taking in action, and this was by default 0 because wave was traveling in z direction, if you remember it clearly, right? So if you have studied clearly, then you might be able to understand what I am saying. So now both the components are in action together. So now we need to find out the magnetic field expression. So when you see the question, the first question that should come into your mind is that which medium is this? Is this a lossy medium, lossless medium, free space or conductor? So what do you think, which kind of medium is this? Is this lossy medium or conducting medium? No. Why is that so? Because I cannot find e to the power minus alpha z term. I cannot find this term. So if I cannot find this term, then certainly it is not a lossy medium or conducting medium. So it has to be two options present. Either it is free space or it is lossless dielectric. So two options are there. Now which of them is correct? How would you get to know it? So for free space, Vp is equals to C, right? Vp is equals to C. C is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. So I will find Vp value now. And once I have found Vp value, then I can see whether it is equals to C or not. If it is not equals to C, then certainly it is lossless dielectric. Is that clear to you? So let's find out the value of Vp. So how you can find out the value of Vp? Do I have the value of beta? Yes, that is 2 radian per meter. Do I have the value of omega? Yes. Can I write down the value of Vp? Yes, Vp equals to omega by beta. So 100 pi mega divided by 2. So what you are getting? 50 pi into 10 to the power 6 meter per second, which is certainly not equal to C. So what does it implies? That it is a lossless dielectric. Now all the formulas you are going to apply, that will be based on lossless dielectric medium. Now you need the expression of magnetic field. So if you need the expression of magnetic field from electric field, what you are going to do? You are going to take the help of eta, right? And what is the expression of eta for lossless dielectric? Which is this one. And it can be written as 120 pi into mu r into epsilon r. Since it is a non-magnetic material, what does that mean? I have already told you, for non-magnetic material, mu r is equals to 1. In a lot of questions, this line will be mentioned, that consider non-magnetic material. So mu r equals to 1 you will take. So what you are going to get? 120 pi by epsilon r, under root epsilon r. Now I do not have this value, so I need to find this value. So for this calculation, I did not need to take any data from the problem. For this particular calculation, I need to take the data. So what all data I am having? I am having the value of Vp, right? Vp is equals to, I am having the value of Vp. Vp is equals to 50 pi into 10 to the power 6, which is equals to what? Do you remember the formula? If you don't remember, then you can write down this thing. This is equals to your C by under root epsilon r. This is actually equals to c by under root mu r epsilon r. I hope you must have seen the summary. In the last lecture, we covered the summary of EM waves. So there I told you these formulas. So this can be written as c upon under root mu r epsilon r, or if mu r is 1, then it can be written as c upon under root epsilon r. What is the value of c? 3 into 10 to the power 8. So from here I am getting the value of under root epsilon r. What is that equal to? 3 into 10 to the power 8 divided by epsilon r. So under root epsilon r is equals to what? 3 into 10 to the power 8 divided by 50 pi into 10 to the power 6. Is that correct? Which is your c upon under root epsilon r. Just a second. 3 into 10 to the power 8. Yeah. So this would be 350. 6 by pi, right? So this if I put there, so eta will be equals to 120 divided by 6 by pi. So 20 pi square, it will be nearly around 200. So but do I have the data? Yes, it is coming out to be 198 ohm, nearly around 200. How did I tell nearly around 200? Because 120 pi square divided by 6. So this will be 20 pi square is nearly 10. So nearly around 200. So 198. So eta value now I am having. So can I write down the H expression? Certainly I can write down. So for H expression, this will be, look, let me write down ES expression again. If you are not understanding it, there are two components. One is X component, one is Y component. So ES is 5 into e to the power minus 5 into e to the power minus j 2z ax cap plus 10 into e to the power minus j 2z ay cap. Now for this particular wave, for this wave, if I write down AP is equals to AE cross AH, the direction of propagation is Z. The direction of propagation is Z. The direction of electric field is X. Then what will be the direction of H? That would be AY cap. Is that clear to you? X cross Y is equals to Z. So if I write down the value of H, that would be neta into this value. So 198, both amplitude will be multiplied with 198. So 198 into 5 into e to the power minus 2z. This is the direction of propagation. In place of AX, what will come? AY cap. Because H field is in Y direction. Plus, this will come as it is. 10 is also multiplied with 198. 10 is also multiplied with 198. E to the power minus 2 AZ. What will be the direction here? Can you calculate it on your own? It will be minus AX cap. It will be minus AX cap. So because of that, this minus sign will be here. How did I calculate minus AX cap? Look, AP is equals to AE cross AH, I know, right? What is the direction of propagation? Z. What is your AE? What is the direction of AE? The direction of AE is AY now. Now, Y, X cross Y would give you Z. X cross Y would give you Z. But you are doing Y cross X. If you are doing Y cross X, that means it will give you minus Z. So I need to put another minus sign. Y cross X would give me minus Z, and another minus is there, that would make it plus. So minus AX cap would come. So because of that, this minus sign is there. So this is the expression of your magnetic field, and this is the answer of this particular question. Is that clear to you? Very easy question it was. It might seem tough to you in the first glance because you don't have the practice, but later on you will build the practice and these questions will be very easy. So if I need to find the expression of H, I just need the value of eta. And how do I get the value of eta? First I need to know the region of first I need to know the medium. Once I go to know the medium, it was lossless, then I applied the formula. In the formula I needed root epsilon r value, so that I can get from any of the expression that I am having. So from here I got the value of under root epsilon r, which was 6 by pi. So from there I got the value of eta. Then everything was related to directions. So if I know the direction of propagation, if I know the direction of electric field, then I can get the direction of magnetic field as well. So in the first one it was AY cap, in the second one it was minus AX cap, and this was the expression. Is that clear to you? Everything is crystal clear. Let's move to the next one. So these are very basic questions, just with the basic definition. In the first lecture we studied the basic definition of all these terms when we were studying mathematics. So what they are saying, EM wave is having an angular frequency of 10 to the power 8 radian per second. angular frequency of 10 to the power 8 radian per second. Okay, calculate the time it will take to cover the distance of lambda by 2. So time I need to look, I can apply the formulas as well, but let's understand it by the concept. Okay, let's understand by concept, like the core concept I have given, how those formulas came. So to cover from peak to peak, this distance is your lambda, right? To cover this distance, to cover the distance of lambda, how much time do you take? Equals to one time period, where t is time period, right? Is that clear to you? To cover the distance of lambda, you take the time equals to one time period. If you need to cover the distance of lambda by 2, how much time you will take? T by 2, right? So what will be the time required? Time required will be T by 2. And what is T? T is 2 pi by omega. 2 pi by omega. 2 and 2 will get cancelled. So answer will be pi by omega. So what will be the answer? Time required will be pi by 10 to the power 8 seconds. That's it. This is the answer. Okay. Very easy. Don't confuse yourself with the formulas. Just know the concept that lambda would take t time. So lambda by 2 would take t by 2 time. And if it's taking t by 2 time, then simply this formula I am having 2 pi by omega. That's it. Let's see the next one. Again, do not confuse yourself with the formulas. For a conducting medium, find the skin depth. You need to find the skin depth, which is equals to 1 by alpha, or you can say it is equals to 1 by beta. Because for a conducting medium, alpha is equals to beta for conductor. So this is what we need to find. Now, what is the information that has been given to you? If the wave undergoes a change in phase by pi radian over a distance of 2 meter. So if you are working for 2 meter, then your change is pi radian. So do you remember the definition of beta? What was the definition of beta? Beta has the unit of radian per meter. That means if you work for 1 meter, then how much phase change is there? That is known as beta. If you work for 1 meter, then how much phase change is there? Or this was the formula of beta. That means if you work for lambda distance, then your phase change will be 2 pi. Here also you can see, if I have worked for lambda distance, then my phase changed by 2 pi. If this was your pi by 2, then this would have been 5 pi by 2, right? So if I work for lambda distance, then my phase change will be 2 pi. So this is what it is saying. If you work for lambda distance, phase change will be 2 pi. Or you can say, if I work for 1 meter, then what will be my phase change? Because for lambda distance, phase change is 2 pi. For 1 meter, phase change will be 2 pi by lambda. And yes, this is the definition of beta. That if you work for 1 meter, your phase change should be, what should be your phase change? This is what beta says. So if I am working for 2 meter, then my phase is changing 2 meter, then my phase is changing for pi radian. So if I work for 1 meter, then my phase will change by pi by 2 radian. 2 meter, my phase is changing by pi radian. So if I work for 1 meter, then my phase will change for pi by 2, and this is equal to beta only. So beta is pi by 2 radian per second. Do you remember the actual definition? What is wavelength? Wavelength is between two peaks. What is the length? What is beta? If you work for 1 meter, then how much phase change is there? Or you can say, if I work for lambda meter, then my phase change will be 2 pi. So this is what your beta is. Or beta can say, if I work for 1 meter, then what is my phase change? What is your time period? How much time it is taken to reach from peak to peak? That is time period. So I have got the value of beta. Now if I have the value of beta, then certainly I can find out the value of skin depth as well. So that will be equals to 2 by pi, but certainly it will have a unit of, not second, it is pi by 2 radian per meter. Sorry, this was an error from my side. Pi by 2 radian per meter. So what will be the skin depth? 2 by pi meter. Is that clear to you? Certainly it is clear to you. Let's see this one. Again, solve it using your simple conceptual understanding. Don't go too much into formula. Once you see the question, you will realize whether I need to go into formula or not. So in a lossy dielectric, the change in phase of EM wave is 90 degree when it undergoes a distance of 3 mm at 10 gigahertz. You need to find take non-magnetic material, and you need to find the value of epsilon r. So change of phase is 90 degree when it goes a when it undergoes a distance of 3 mm. So can you tell me what will be your beta value? From this information, can I get the value of beta? Yes. How will I get the value of beta? Beta is change is pi by 2 for a distance of 3 mm. 3 mm. Or I can write down change is 90 degree. 90 degree means pi by 2 only. So pi by 2, 3 into 10 to the power minus 3. That is your radian per meter. Okay, so I can write it down as 1000 pi by 6 radian per meter. 1000 pi by 6 radian per meter. And omega value also I am having. Omega value also I am having. That is 100 gigahertz. So that is the value of frequency. So if I need to find the value of omega, that would be equals to 2 pi into 10. So 20 pi giga radian per sec, right? 20 pi giga radian per sec. Now I need to find the value of epsilon r. This seems pretty easy question. How would you find it? Look, beta is equals to what? Omega mu epsilon. Or how you can write it down? Omega by c. This I have already told, mu r epsilon r. But what is the value? What is the material? Non-magnetic material. That means mu r is equals to 1. So omega by c under root epsilon r. Omega mu epsilon. Omega mu naught epsilon naught into mu r epsilon r. This value is 1. And what is this value? 1 by c. So omega by c under root epsilon r. So this we have already seen in all the summary points. In the last lecture, in all the summary point, I wrote down all the formulas which will be used for solving the problems, right? So omega value you know, c value you already know, beta value you know, you need the value of epsilon r. So from here I can get the value of epsilon r. So beta is 10 to the power 3 only, I will write pi by 6. Omega is 20 pi into 10 to the power 6 divided by c, 3 into 10 to the power 8, and under root epsilon r is there. So let's solve this calculation. I will do the calculation. You can also do it. Then I will write down the value of epsilon r. Okay. Okay. So error I did here. I was thinking about that only. This was giga radian, no? Gigahertz, no? Mega giga. So 10 to the power 9. Kilo mega giga. 10 to the power 3, 10 to the power 6, 10 to the power 9. So 10 to the power 9 will come here. So that was an error from my side. And now if you solve it, so 10 here, 200, 3, 2, 4, 10, 2.5. So 6.25, right? Although I have already done the calculation. So yeah, 6.25 only. Okay, fine. Let's move to the next one. For any general medium, these are the value of epsilon r, mu r, alpha and omega. All this is written. You need to find the value of beta. Okay, you need the find the value of beta. Fine. Do I have the value of sigma upon omega epsilon? I don't have the value of sigma. Do I have the value of sigma upon omega epsilon? I have the value of omega, I have the value of epsilon as well, but I don't have the value of sigma. So I cannot apply that ratio. Look, if alpha is given and beta you need to find, then we always apply alpha by beta. I told you this thing in the last lecture only, that you always find alpha by beta. From there you can get the expression. But I don't have the value of sigma by omega epsilon. So first let's try finding the value of sigma by omega epsilon. So I have the value of alpha. So what is the expression of alpha? Alpha is equals to omega under root mu epsilon by 2, then bracket under root 1 plus sigma upon omega epsilon square minus 1. Now this same expression will be used in the expression of beta as well, no? Under root 1 plus sigma upon omega epsilon square. This will be used in beta as well. So I will keep this as it is. I will keep this expression as it is. So let's see how I would have solved it. So 1 by 3. What is the value of omega? 10 to the power 8. Can I write it down as by c? How I am doing it? If I take mu r, what is this under root mu epsilon? So can I write it down as mu naught epsilon r mu r? So if I take this outward, all is having under root. So if I take this outward, what it would be? 1 by c. So divided by 3 into 10 to the power 8. Are you understanding this expression? What did I do here? I just took mu naught epsilon naught outward. I don't want to put those complex value 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7 or 3 or 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12. That I don't want to put. I know what is the value of this expression. That is 1 by c. So directly I took that outward. So inward, what do you get? Inside, in the under root, what you are getting? Mu r epsilon r divided by 2. Are you getting this point? Mu naught epsilon naught under root I have taken out. So that is 1 by c. So this is what I am having inside. So can I write down in this manner? Mu r into epsilon r, 16 by 2. 16 by 2. Let's keep this as it is. I am assuming this value as some constant p. I am assuming this value as some constant p, because I would need this expression as it is in the value of beta as well. So I am assuming this constant as p minus 1. This got cancelled. This got cancelled. This would be 1 only. So if 1 goes there, 1 square, 8. So this constant is coming out to be 9. You can check here. If I put 9 here, 9 minus 1, 8. So 2, 4, 64, 8. 8 is coming outward. Look what I am doing. 10 to the power 8, 10 to the power 8 got cancelled. 3 and 3 got cancelled. These got cancelled. And this root goes that side. 1 square is 1 only. And this is your 2 by 16. Really sorry for the error. So this would be 1 by 8. P minus 1. So your P is coming out to be 9 by 8. Okay. That was an error from my side. It is coming out to be 9 by 8. So this expression P is coming out to be 9 by 8. Now what will be the value of beta? Beta will be omega by c, the same thing, under root mu r epsilon r. Exactly ditto the same thing will happen. So let me write down the value of beta now. Omega 10 to the power 8 divided by c, 3 into 10 to the power 8. Then under root mu r epsilon r, 16 by 2. Then this expression, that is 9 by 8. And instead of minus, plus will come here. That's it. Is that clear to you? Yes. So 1 by 3. Then 8 got cancelled, 17 under root 17. So what is the answer? Under root 17, not 17. Basically I solved it. 8 plus 1. This 8 goes here. 8 plus 9, 17. 8 and 8 gets cancelled. So under root 17. So beta value you are getting is under root 17 by 3 radian per meter. This p value I am not going to take in a box because that is not the answer. P value was simply 9 by 8. How did I get that? I hope you must have understood. This expression I am assuming it to be p. Why? Because the same expression will be used in the calculation of beta as well. That's why I am assuming it to be p. So p I assumed p minus 1. This value I know 3 into 10 power 8, then 16 by 2 here, 8. Then I did the calculation. These were getting cancelled. So from here I got the value of this was 1 by 8. So 9 by 8 value I was getting, and then I put there. So from there I got the value of beta. So if I had this value already present with me, then I would have simply applied the ratio alpha by beta, which we did in the last lecture. But here I was not having the value of sigma. So that's why I first found the value of sigma upon omega epsilon square plus 1 under root. This value I found, and then I solved this question. Yeah, so let's see this question now. Eta value is given, frequency is given, EM wave frequency is given, alpha value is given. You need to find the value of conductivity. Okay. So how will you find that? So in this question, what do you see? That your theta eta, whatever you can call it, theta n you can call it. So your theta eta is equals to 45 degree. That means certainly it is a good conductor. There is no doubt about that. Now, if it is equals to 45 degree, then will you say that such conductivity is equals to infinity? No. Why you cannot say that? What did I tell you? What is the property of good conductor? The property of good conductor is not that sigma is equals to infinity. The property of good conductor is that this guy is very greater than 1. And to be this guy to be very greater than 1, this guy can be very low, no? It's not necessary that this guy is very high. To make this guy, to make this particular component to be very high, the other condition could be that this component is pretty low. So it may happen that omega into epsilon is pretty low. So sigma will be some finite value then. Are you getting this point? Look, the thing is your tan theta. What I am talking about? I am talking about the loss tangent. Sigma upon omega epsilon. So this should be very greater than 1. This is the condition, right? So now you need to hold on that sigma value can also be some finite value. So that we need to find. So for that what we can do, alpha value is given, attenuation constant is given. So for good conductor, what is the value of alpha? That is, sir, omega mu sigma by 2. If you don't remember it, then you can derive it in the examination as well. How will you derive it? That, sir, alpha is equals to omega mu epsilon by 2, and then, sir, under root 1 plus sigma upon omega epsilon whole square minus 1, that term will come. But I know that, sir, sigma upon omega epsilon is pretty larger than 1, then only this term will be left. So this and this get cancelled, under root 2 will be there, so answer will be omega mu sigma by 2. This is the answer of alpha. Now, do I have the value of omega? Yes. Do I have, I need to find the value of sigma. Do I have the value of alpha? Yes. Do I have the value of mu? Do I have the value of mu? No. Here it is not mentioned that it is a non-magnetic material. So you cannot take mu r equals to 1. Now, mu r is not equals to 1. It is not even mentioned here. So you cannot take it. So now you don't have the value of mu. So this formula I cannot apply now. What else do we have in this question? The magnitude of eta. So always in EMT, I am telling you one simple trick, that in EMT always write down whatever that you have in the question and just write down their expression. Once you write down the things that is there in the question, once you write down the expression, after that you will see that you are going to solve every problem. So now I am just going to write down the formula of eta, which is pretty easy for me to remember. That is j omega mu, but since I am writing down the magnitude, so j omega mu upon sigma plus j omega epsilon. J omega epsilon will be pretty low, so that I am ignoring. So this was the expression for eta for good conductor that we have seen in the previous video. So this is your expression of eta, right? Now using these two expressions, can I find the value of sigma? Yes. How can I find the value of sigma? I will divide alpha by eta. What I am going to do? Alpha by eta. If I do alpha by eta, that is stylus बार बार writing pad बार बार टेढ़ा हो जाता है. This cannot keep straight. Yeah. So alpha by eta magnitude I need to find. So alpha by eta if I find, so alpha is under root omega mu sigma by 2. And this is basically I should write under root omega mu sigma by 2 and then the reciprocal of this under root omega mu. So under root omega mu gets cancelled. So what you are getting? Alpha by eta is equals to sigma by under root 2. This is your under root 2, right? Sigma by under root 2 I am getting. So what I will get? Sigma is equals to, now you will not mug this formula up, okay? You will not mug up this formula. That sigma is equals to under root 2 alpha by eta. This is just I derived for the question purpose. So you don't need to mug it up, right? In the examination, if they are asking such kind of questions, then you can derive it there as well. So under root 2, you know already, 1 by 2. And what is the magnitude of your eta? That is 28.1. So from here sigma value we will get, which I have already written down, which is 2.51 into 10 to the power minus 2. What is the unit of conductivity? Did I tell you? It is Siemens per meter or mho per meter. How do we get it? This is the unit. How can you remember this? In network analysis, in basic network analysis, have you studied this formula? R equals to rho L by A, right? R equals to rho L by A. This you must have studied. What is rho? Rho is 1 by sigma only. So R equals to 1 by sigma into L by A. This is your ohm into 1 by sigma. Meter divided by meter square. So this is meter. So sigma is 1 by ohm meter. And 1 by ohm is mho. So mho by meter, or you can say Siemens by meter. So if you want to write it down, you can write it down. Otherwise, you can remember Siemens by meter or mho by meter. Okay. So this is how we get the unit. Why I am putting the equal sign? Okay, equal sign because units are same. Yeah. So this is the answer. Let's move to the next one. So alpha, beta, neta, and h value, all these values we need to find. E expression is given. So here I have the value of omega, I have the value of sigma as well. So first thing that is for sure that it is not lossless or free space, right? Because loss is there, loss is present. So if loss is present, then there are only two options: lossy dielectric or conducting. So what do we need to define? Sigma by omega epsilon. If sigma by omega epsilon is very greater than 1, then what is that? If sigma by omega epsilon is very greater than 1, then certainly it is conducting medium. So let's find out whether it is conducting or not. So do I have the value of sigma? Yes. Do I have the value of omega? Yes, I have the value of omega as well, and epsilon value also I am having. So let's find out the value of sigma upon omega epsilon. So sigma value is 3, omega value is 10 to the power 8, epsilon r is 1 only, and epsilon naught is 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12. So this value I don't need to calculate. Just by looking at the expression, I am getting to know that it is very greater than 1. Since this question is from Sadiku only, as far as I remember, I can write down the value as well. Yeah, same question it is. So it is 3393. But in the examination, you don't need to calculate it, right? Because you can see 10 to the power minus 12 into 10 to the power 8. So it will be 10 to the power 4. So 10 to the power 4 will go upward. So certainly it is very greater than 1. 3393. Yeah. So certainly it is very greater than 1. So what is this? Good conductor. Now you can write down all the expressions. Certainly you can write down all the expressions. So how will you write down all the expression? So alpha and beta both will be equal. Alpha will be equals to beta, and both will be equals to what? Omega mu sigma by 2. 10 to the power 8 into mu r is 20. 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7 into sigma is 3 divided by 2. Now you tell me one thing, how do you solve such calculation using the calculator? Using gate calculator, how do you solve all these things? So under bracket, always try to take some even power. 10 to the power 2, 10 to the power 4. Always try making some even power. It would be easy for you, because even power you can directly take outward, no? So look, I could have directly write down the answer, but now I am telling in the examination how I would have solved it using my calculator. So what I would have done, 10 to the power 8 and one more 0 is there, 10 to the power 9. This 2 and this 2 is getting cancelled. So 10 to the power 9, here I am not cancelling it because your notes will be bad. I don't want that thing. So but in the examination, what I would be doing, this and this I would be cancelling out. Then 10 to the power 9 and 10 to the power minus 7. So it would be 10 to the power 2. So 10 to the power 2 under root, if it comes out, then 10 will be left. So I will be writing 10. So this term has been cancelled, this term has been cancelled, and this term has been cancelled. And 10 I have already written. So in the under root I am having 12 into pi. So using the calculator I will do 12 into pi and then take the under root and then multiply it by 10. So that would be my answer. So this is how I would be solving in the examination. So 12 into pi, take the under root into 10. So 61.39 or 61.4. So this is how you should solve in the examination. Is that clear to you? Always try to make 10 to the power some even and then take the under root. It would be more easy for you to do the calculation. Okay, so let me erase it now. You can write in your rough notebook or any way that this is how I will be solving it. So 61.4 Nipper per meter for alpha, this is for alpha, and for beta 61.4 radian per meter for beta. This is for alpha, this is for beta. Now I need to calculate the value of eta. So eta, what is the expression of eta? J omega mu upon sigma only. So do I have the value of omega? Yes. Do I have the value of this thing? 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7 into mu r is equals to 20. Mu r is equals to 20, right? And what is the value of sigma? That is 3. So it is coming out to be. So this is the magnitude actually. This is the magnitude I am calculating. What will be the angle? Angle will be 45 degree. So what it is coming out to be, 10 to the power 1 we are getting here, then another 10 to the power 1 is there. So 10 to the power 2. So 4 into 2, 8. 800 pi by 3. 800 pi by 3 ohm, and angle is 45 degree. Okay. Now H field I need to write down. So how will I write down the H field? So H field will be E naught by eta, E naught by eta. So which is what is E naught? 2 by eta. Eta is under 800 under root pi by 3. E to the power minus alpha z. Minus alpha is 61.4 z. Cos sine n to the power 8t minus beta is the same thing, 61.4 radian per meter. Omega t minus beta, is it traveling in z direction? Yes, it is traveling in z direction. Is that complete? Is that complete? No. There will be phase difference as well, because here you have written the magnitude. So here you will subtract the phase difference, minus 45 degree. And this is your z, this is your y. So it will be in minus ax direction. You can calculate it. It will be in minus ax cap direction. Why minus ax cap? Az is equals to ay into something. So y into x will give you z. Y into x will give you z. Sorry, y into x will give you minus z, but you need plus z. So this is the minus sign you need to put. So this is the expression of h. Okay. So this is how we can solve the problem. So very easily we can solve the problems if we have the enough patience, right? Beta value I need to find, h value I need to find, mu r value is equals to 1 is given. But now you see the expression of electric field. 12 pi cos omega t minus 3x plus 4y az gap. Tell me the direction of wave propagation. What is the direction of electric field? Az gap. Right? What is the direction of wave propagation? Can you tell me this thing? Omega t minus beta something, right? 10 to the power 8t minus 3x minus 4y, right? So this would be the direction of propagation. What will be the direction of propagation? 3ax cap minus, am I doing it correct? Yeah, 3x cap minus 4ay cap. But this is not the unit vector, so divide by its magnitude, and its magnitude will be 5. So this is your a p cap, direction of propagation. Omega t minus beta z, how do you call the direction of propagation? You take the minus sign outward, beta also you can take outward. So sorry, if you don't take beta outward, how will you tell? Minus beta z. So this you will take out, right? So here also I took minus outward, and this I am taking out. So beta z I take out. So now my direction of propagation is beta az cap, but divided by its magnitude. Its magnitude is beta only. So beta got cancelled, and direction is az cap. This is how I tell it, or this I got from the expression. So what did I do? Omega t minus beta z. So minus beta z, this I took outward. So minus sign I need to keep. Minus sign I am keeping it here. So beta z, this is my beta z. So beta into az cap divided by beta. Beta into az cap divided by beta. So this is your arrow cap direction now. Okay, beta z divided by beta, because beta was the magnitude, right? So beta got cancelled. So az cap is the direction, right? So direction here is 3ax cap minus 4ay cap divided by 5. So how your EM wave is traveling? What do you think? If this is your x, this is your y. This is your x, this is your y. So this will be your minus y. This will be your minus y. This will be my minus y. So EM wave is traveling in this direction. And your electric field is along the direction of z. Electric field is along the direction of z. So that also you can make in 3D, but basically it is traveling in this direction. It is going into this direction, right? EM wave direction. This is the EM wave direction. So it is tough to visualize, but you can at least know that it is going in this direction, right? So what is my AP cap that I have written, which is this? This is my AP cap. So how do I show it? I will show it here only. So my AP cap is this, and what is my AE cap? AE cap is my AZ cap. Now if I need the value of AH cap, how would I get it? So AP cap 3AX cap minus 4AY cap divided by 5 is equals to AE cap, which is AZ cap, cross AH cap. So here I need to write down the value now. Yes or no? if I do AZ cap cross anything, I can write down here 3AX cap plus 4AY cap if I am doing this thing. So can I write down in this manner 3 into AZ cap cross AX cap plus 4 into AZ cap cross AY cap. Can I write down in this manner? Yes, I can write down in this manner. Okay, so this is one of the way, or otherwise I will tell you one thing, EHP. So E cross H will give you P. Will you be able to write, will you be able to remember XYZ, you remember? So EHP, electronics, Himanshu, P for anything you can remember. Who is the teacher of electronics? Electronics you are studying from, or EMFT you are studying from Himanshu. Rest word is P. Electronics, Himanshu, P. This is the way you can remember. EHP, will you be able to remember? Right? We will solve it by this method, but another method I am telling. So E cross H will give you P, H cross P will give you E, and P cross E will give you H. So what do I need to find? H. So how I can get it? H. P cross E will give you H. So AP cross AE. Easiest way. What you need to remember? EHP, and then in the circular way. So E cross H will give you P, H cross P will give you E, P cross E will give you H. So what is my AP? 3AX cap minus 4AY cap. 3AX cap minus 4AY cap divided by 5 cross AE cap is AZ cap. Okay. So let me erase this. This is not useful for you. So now basically AX cross AZ, what it will give you? X, Y and Z. So Z cross X will give me Y. So X cross Z would give me minus AY. Minus 4. AY cross AZ. Y cross Z would give me X. So very easily I wrote down here. Here you need to think a lot. Right? Here you would need to think a lot. How would you think? That I need Z cross Y is equals to X. Z cross Y is equals to X. But Z cross Y will give me minus X. Z cross Y will give me minus X. Right? So Z cross Y is giving me minus X. So what I am going to write? Minus AY here. Z cross Y will give me minus X. But I need plus X. So minus AY. And certainly 3 by 5 also I will write. Why I am writing 3 by 5 also? Because 3 by 5 is here. And now what I will write here? Z cross X will give me Y. So yeah, this will be coming as it is. So 4 by 5 AX cap. So two ways are there. In this manner you need to think. Here you just need to write the formula and just do the calculation. So this is something which I would prefer, but here extra thing you need to remember, EHP. E cross H would give you P. So in the circular manner you can write down EHP. Okay. So if I need to find the value of H, so that would be P cross E. So P cross E I do. So that is the direction of H I am getting. Okay. So this is the direction of H. So this is your AH cap. So two methods are there. I need to add a page. Now what do I need to find? Beta value I need to find. Okay, yeah. What will be your beta? What do you think? Under root 3 square plus 4 square. Under root 3 square plus 4 square. So that will be 5 radian per meter. What 3x is representing? What 3x is representing? That whenever you are walking in the direction of x, your phase change per meter is 3 radian per second. What it is saying, that whenever you are walking in the direction of x, your phase change is 3 radian per meter. If you walk for 1 meter here, your phase is changing by 3 radian. And let's just say this is your minus 5. So if you walk for 1 meter here, your phase is changing by 4 radian per meter. So in between, if I am going, so how much my phase is changing? So under root 3 square plus 4 square. This will be your beta. So 5 radian per meter. This is how my phase is changing. So this is the value of beta. Mu r is there. Now you need to write down the expression of H. Try doing it on your own. Try writing the expression of H on your own. So how will you write down? H will be equals to, So for h, first I need the value of eta as well. Did I give anything that it is free space or anything? No, beta value I have, omega value I have. So certainly it is not a free space, because what do I see? Omega is equals to 10 to the power 8. Beta is equals to 5, right? Beta is equals to 3 square plus 4 square. So beta is equal to 3 plus 3 square plus 4 square under root. So beta is equals to 5. So what is your VP here? VP is equals to omega by beta. So certainly it is not equals to C. So if it is not equals to C, so there is no way that it is a free space. So which kind of medium is that? Lossless dielectric. Why lossless? Because there is no term of e to the power minus alpha z. There is no term of e to the power minus alpha z. So what do I need now? Eta, which is 125. Non-magnetic material it is, so mu r is given as 1. So what it will be written as 120 pi divided by under root epsilon r. Is that clear? Now I need the value of under root epsilon r. How can I get it? So what is my beta? Beta is equals to omega by c under root epsilon r. Do you remember this formula? Omega under root mu epsilon. So omega by c mu r epsilon r, that will be epsilon r only. Since I have enough practice, so I wrote it down directly. Otherwise, you could have also written it. Like no formula, I am just like I am not developing any formula here. Okay, whatever the formula I am writing down here, that has been already proved. So do not think that sir is bringing some new formula. Now I need to mug it up. No, from here only I wrote this formula, right? Omega by c, then mu r epsilon r, and based on this we have solved a problem as well, right? So have the good amount of concentration, then you will feel these are pretty easy. 3 into 10 to the power 8 under root epsilon r. Your under root epsilon r is coming out to be 15, right? So here I will put 15. So this is the value of eta you are getting. So what will be your h naught? H naught will be E naught by eta, right? E naught is 12 pi. E naught is 12 pi. What will be your eta? 120 pi into 15. Pi by 10, 1.5. 1.5. This will be your H naught. So can I write down the expression of H now? Yes. 1.5 cos 10 to the power 80 minus, in which direction wave is traveling? 3x plus 4y. And now what is the direction of your magnetic field? This is the direction of your magnetic field. Minus 3 ay cap minus 4 ax cap divided by 5. This is your magnetic field H. Is that clear to you? Let me revise this question again. So what did we see here? Our field is, electric field is going in z direction. Our wave propagation is in 3x minus 4y. 3ax minus 4y. 3x cap minus 4ay cap. And since I need to write down the unit vector, so I multiplied by, so I divided by 5 as well. Now I need the value of h. So from there I just taught you one new formula, which is EHP. E cross h will give you P, h cross P will give you E, and P cross E will give you H. So for H, P cross E I will apply. So what is the AH cap I am getting? Minus 3 AY cap minus 4 AX cap divided by 5. So this is the direction of H. What is the value of beta? So beta value is simply under root 3 square plus 4 square. From this example we studied, so that will be 5. So value of beta you are having, you just need the value of H. You need to know the medium now, because you would be using eta. So eta is different for different medium. So now you need to know the medium. So then you got to know that it is certainly not free space, and certainly it cannot be lossy or conductive. Lossy conductive it cannot be, so it has to be lossless. So it is lossless medium. For that eta value is 120 pi divided by epsilon r. Now you need the value of root epsilon r. So that you can get from beta. Beta is omega by c under root epsilon r. You put the values, you got the value of under root epsilon r as well. That was 15. So that you put there, and you got the value of h naught, and then you wrote down this expression. Is that clear to you? Yes. Now before moving on to the next question, I just want to give a small concept. So this I should have taught already in our vector algebra, but I forgot it. Somehow I forgot it. I actually remembered it that I need to write it down. But while writing it down, I forgot it. So here I am teaching it. So if a line is making an angle of alpha with x-axis, beta with y-axis and gamma with z-axis, what do I mean by that? This is your coordinate, okay, and then there is some line. There is some line. Now this line is making an angle of, let's call it x, y, z, making an angle of alpha with x-axis, beta with y-axis and gamma with z-axis. Okay, there is no use of direction here. Okay, don't get confused that I have made an arrow, just the angle it is. This is the angle it is making, this is the angle it is making, and this is the angle it is making. Okay, alpha, beta, gamma. So these are the angles if it is making. Then there is one relation which you can very easily prove, that is cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma is equals to 1. From the concept of projection you can easily prove it. Okay, you take this length as r and then easily you will be able to prove it, or you can just remember this line is making alpha angle with x-axis, beta angle with y-axis and gamma angle with z-axis. So cos square alpha, cos square of one angle plus cos square of other angle plus cos square of third angle is equals to 1. Let's solve a question. A line is making an angle of 30 degree with x-axis, so cos square 30, 60 degree with y-axis, cos square 60. So how much angle it will make with z-axis? Cos square gamma is equals to 1. Cos square 30 plus cos square 30, 60, that would be 1 only, or how I can write it down, cos square 30. So that would be under root 3 by 2, so 3 by 4, and this will be 1 by 2, so 1 by 4, plus cos square gamma is equals to 1. So gamma is equals to, cos square gamma is equals to 0, so gamma is equals to 90 degree. That line is in xy plane, that line is in xy plane, the line is lying on xy plane, 30 degree, 60 degree, with other one it is 90 degree. Is that clear to you? So this is how you can write down the formula. Okay. Now let's solve this question. A wave is traveling making an angle of 60 degree with x-axis, 90 degree with z-axis. You need to find out direction of E field is given. You need to find out the direction of H field. Try it on your own. You can do it. Certainly you can do it. 60 degree angle with x-axis and 90 degree with z-axis. What will be the angle made with y-axis? So let's find it out. So cos square 60 plus cos square beta, which is the angle made with y-axis, plus cos square 90 is equals to 1. So this is 0, cos square 90 is 0, this is 1 by 4. So cos beta you are getting is under root 3 by 2. This calculation you can do on your own. Cos square 90 is 0, cos square 60 1 by 4, 1 minus 1 by 4 will be 3 by 4, 3 by 4 under root 3 by 2, beta value is coming out to be 30 degree, right. So there is a vector field. Now tell me one thing, let's just say there is some line which is making an angle of 30 degree with y-axis, 60 degree with x-axis and 90 degree with z-axis. How will you write down this line? How will you write down the equation of this line? Equation of over a vector. I should have called it vector as well. Better calling it line, I should have called it a vector. This is a vector. Vector you can say, or you can say a line as well. This is a vector which is making an angle of alpha, beta, gamma. So if I know the angles, can I write it down the equation in this? Can I write it down the vector in this manner? That it would be whatever the magnitude of vector is. I am assuming a magnitude. I am assuming a unit vector. So unit vector has a magnitude of 1. So 1 cos 30 with x-axis, what is the angle? 60 degree. So 1 cos 60 degree Ex cap plus 1 cos, what is the angle with y-axis? That is 30 degree Ay cap plus 1 cos, what is the angle with z-axis? 90 degree Az cap. If you are not able to understand this, this is a simple thing. Let's understand it in 2D. This is x, this is y. This is angle 60 degree, this is angle 30 degree, this angle is 60 degree, and this has a magnitude of 5. That means I am walking 5 meter. I am walking 5 meter in this direction. So in x, how much I have walked? 5 cos 30. And in y, how much I have worked? 5 cos 60. So if I need to write down this vector, how would I write down? In x direction you have worked 5 cos 30 ax cap. In y direction you have worked 5 cos 60 ay cap. And from this expression only, in that manner only, if you write down in that manner only, this is a line, okay, this is a line which has a magnitude 1. So how you can write down the vector representation of this line? That will be cos alpha ax cap plus cos beta ay cap plus cos gamma az cap. This will be your a vector, which has a magnitude 1. This has a magnitude 1. So under root cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma is equals to 1. From there you are getting this expression. Is that clear to you? Vector algebra I am teaching. Forget about EM wave. Simple vector algebra thing I am teaching here. A vector is there, alpha, beta, gamma. So how I can write down this vector? 1 cos alpha plus 1 cos alpha ax cap plus 1 cos beta ay cap plus 1 cos gamma az cap. The component of this vector on x axis, the component of this vector on y axis, the component of this vector on z axis, ax cap, ay cap, az cap. I am assuming the magnitude to be 1. So cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma is equal to 1. If the magnitude was 5, let's just say if the magnitude was 5, so 5 would have been here. So what you would be doing? 5 cos square alpha plus 5 cos square beta plus 5 cos square gamma is equal to 5. So 5 would be getting cancelled. Are you getting this point? So eventually you are gonna get this expression only. Any magnitude you can assume. Any magnitude you can assume, the magnitude will get cancelled only. So what did I tell you here? If I am assuming a magnitude 1, so 1 cos 60, 1 cos 30 and 1 cos 90. So this is my vector A. So my vector A is cos 60, 1 by 2 ax cap, cos 30, root 3 by 2 ay cap, plus cos 90 degree, that is 0 only. So this is your AP, the direction of EM wave propagation. What they are saying, a wave is traveling making an angle of 60 degree with x axis and 90 degree with z axis. So what is the direction of wave propagation? Direction of wave propagation. Do you understand this point or not? How this is the direction of wave propagation? Again ये वापस मुड़ गया. So this is the direction of propagation. Basically this was a line, in this manner it was going. I assumed magnitude to be 1. So 30 degree, 60 degree, with the y axis I found out the, with z axis, sorry, with y axis I found out the angle which was 30 degree. So 60, 30 and 90. So unit vector I can certainly write down. So that is the direction of that unit vector. That means in this direction wave is propagating. AE cap is AE cap is AZ cap. So this question has been framed smartly because they know that AP cap has to be perpendicular to AE cap. So is it perpendicular? You take the dot product, it is coming 0. Yes. AX cap dot AZ cap 0. AY cap dot AZ cap 0. So yeah, dot product is coming 0. So this has been framed smartly. Now you need to find the value of AH. So what do you remember? EHP, E cross H would give you P. So I need to find the value of H. So P cross E will give me, AH is P cross E. So P cross E will give me H. So P cross E. So what else I am having? X, Y, Z. Okay. So AH I need to write. So 1 by 2 X cross Z is equals to minus AY. And then Y cross Z is equals to X. This is the answer. This is your H. Is that clear to you? These kind of questions have not been asked in your GATE examination. Certainly in the future these kind of questions will come. Okay, so you need to have a good concept of mathematics or vector algebra, which I have spent a lot of time. Like more than 2.5 hours we spent on vector algebra only. And a lot of concepts of vector algebra will be used in further analysis as well. That it will be used in whole EMFT. That's why I spent a lot of time on vector algebra, vector calculus and on this coordinate geometry. So that will be very helpful for you. Okay. So the direction of wave propagation we got to know, then we got to know the AE direction, then AH is equals to AP cross AE. So from there we got to know AX cross AZ, X cross Z would give me AY minus AY, and Y cross Z would give me X. So AX cap. So this is the answer. Is that clear? Okay. Last question is left, but I need to pause a bit because I am getting tired. So I will pause a bit. You could try it on your own. This is a very simple question. You try it on your own, and then forget about the rest. Okay, I can solve it. Okay, so JC by JD ratio is given. JC by JD ratio is given. That means, what do you think? What is your loss tangent? Loss tangent. What is loss tangent? Loss tangent is equals to tan theta. That is equals to JC by JD. That is equals to 0.002. That is equals to sigma by omega epsilon, which is coming out to be very, very less than 1. So which kind of medium is that? Free space? No. Lossless dielectric? No. Conductor? No. Lossy dielectric? Kind of yes, but in that as well there is a special case. What is that? Low loss dielectric, right? Low loss dielectric. Epsilon r everything you are having. What do you need to find? Alpha. Do you remember the expression of alpha? For low loss dielectric. If you don't remember, you can derive it. But I remember it. Sigma by 2 mu upon epsilon. Do I have the value of sigma? नहीं भाई, सिग्मा की वैल्यू भी नहीं है. Sigma upon omega epsilon value I am having. So I am having the value of sigma upon omega epsilon. So omega epsilon value also I have. Omega value I also have. Epsilon value also I have. So I need to calculate the value of sigma here. But no, I am not going to calculate sigma value. Let's check what I can do. So sigma is equals to sigma upon omega epsilon is equals to 0.002. So sigma is equals to 0.002 omega epsilon. So 0.002 omega epsilon by 2 under root mu epsilon, right? So what you are getting here, this is 10 to the power minus 3. This will become 0.001. So I can write down 10 to the power minus 3. What is your omega? Omega is 2 pi 2.5 mega giga, right? 2 pi f mu epsilon, under root mu epsilon you are getting. This is what you are getting. Is that clear to you? Look, I am not putting values very directly. If I get some other expression there, I don't need to do the, here I could have directly calculated the value of sigma, but here complex values I need to put, like epsilon value I need to put, omega value I need to put. So this will be very complex expression. So what my target is that somewhere if I get this expression, then it is very easy for me, because this expression can be written as this thing, right? Because I told you mu naught epsilon naught can come outward, then mu r epsilon r, that is 1 by c. So now I do not need to put the value of epsilon, I do not need to put the value of mu naught as well. And here it should have been mentioned that mu r is equals to 1. Okay, should have been mentioned. Very really sorry for this error. It should have been mentioned in this question that mu r is equals to 1. Okay, so let's check out. Let's take this calculation on the next page. So now my alpha expression is equals to 5 pi into 10 to the power 6. 5 pi into 10 to the power 6 divided by c, that is 10 to the power 8 under root epsilon r. Under root epsilon r is 2.56. Okay, so what you are getting, 8 pi by 3. This is 1.6. So 1.6 into 5, 8. 8 pi by 3 into 10 to the power minus 2. This is what I am getting. So now I can solve it. 8 into pi by 3. 8.377. 8.377 into 10 to the power minus 2. Nipper per meter. This is the value of alpha. Okay. So how smartly you do the calculation, that matters a lot. So here I did not put any value. I just thought that sigma and omega epsilon I can convert. So this is how I converted. So 10 to the power minus 3, omega 2 pi f, f is 2.5, giga 10 to the power 9. Then epsilon is, here it is getting cancelled. So root mu epsilon you are getting. So that c I can take outward and under root epsilon r. So c is 3 into 10 to the power 8 and this is 5 pi into 10 to the power 6. Okay. So this is becoming 1.65 pi by 1.6, 8 pi by 3, 10 to the power minus 2. So yeah, this is the value of alpha. Beta, very easily I can write down. What is your beta? Omega by c under root epsilon r. The same expression which I use for loss less, the same expression I can use here as well. The expression actually is omega under root mu naught epsilon naught. So omega by c under root epsilon r. So omega will be 2 pi into 2.5 into 10 to the power 9 divided by 3 into 10 to the power 8 and under root epsilon r is 1.6. Okay. So 558 pi by 3. So basically 10 to the power minus 2 is not there now. Here 10, 16, 5, 80. This is 5, this is 10. 80 pi by 3 are you getting or 8 pi by 3? Let me check. This will be 10, 50. Yeah, 80. 80 pi by 3 I am getting. 80 pi by 3, not 8 pi by 3. 80 pi by 3. Okay. So I am not sure if this is the correct answer. 2 pi 2.5 c is there and root epsilon 1.6 and root 2.56 is 1.6 only. Yeah. 10 16 80 80 pi by 3. Yeah, this is the answer, 80 pi by 3. So 83.77 radian per meter. This is the value of beta. And what about eta? Eta is 120 pi by under root epsilon r. So 120 pi by 1.6, right? 120 pi by 6. Let me check the calculation. Yeah, so this is what I am getting as 235.62 ohm. Okay, so this is the answer of eta, this is the answer of beta, and that was the answer of alpha. Only one formula I asked you to remember, which was this. So here we have used it as well. So you can try remembering it. Otherwise you would be deriving it in the examination. How you would be deriving it? This I have already told, right? Mu epsilon by 2. Then what would you think that, sir, 1 plus something that would come, then sir 1 by 2 and outward I will be having sigma upon omega epsilon. So this will come out omega by 2, omega omega will get cancelled. So 1 by 2 sigma by 2 here I will be having about this epsilon, sir, mu upon epsilon. So this is how we derived it, right? So quickly you can derive, but if you are able to remember, then you can remember as well. Okay, so yeah, these are the expressions, these are the questions. So I hope after this, like, it might happen that most of the questions you were not able to solve. It might happen, but after this you will be able to solve all the problems. Nowhere from wherever you cover the problems. You can cover from Sadiku's book. Almost all the question of Sadiku has been covered. You can cover from Chang, doesn't have much problem on EM wave. So from any DPP, if you are getting from any PYQ, you can cover the problems. You will be able to solve all the questions, right? So now I hope you are comfortable with our EM wave. One more topic is left, that is Poynting vector and time average Poynting vector and Poynting theorem. So 3 points are there which will be covered in one lecture only. So next lecture is very important. So after that we will be done with the first half of EM wave, not complete EM wave, first half of EM wave. In the second half we will study about the polarization and wave propagation in different mediums. Like wave propagation, like there will be one boundary in between and we will see reflection and transmission of EM wave. So that we are going to study in the next half of this particular lecture series. Is that okay to you? So yeah, let's meet in the next video where we are going to study about pointing theorem, pointing vector and time average pointing vector. Thank you very much.